Well, hello friends, and welcome back to the cabin. I've got a little project down here. I'm going to have to restack the boards that I cut because I came down this morning to check them and they weren't drying too well, so I'm going to restack them. We got a little bit of wind today, so I'm going to stack them out here on the sawmill. I got a few boards laid out there, but if I stack them this way, the air will flow underneath, in between, and all around them. Although they would dry like this, it's going to take longer because there's no air movement on the inside here. So if I bring them out here and stack them up, they'll get a lot more air and they'll dry a lot quicker. You want to make sure that all your stickers are the same size, because if you don't, with all the weight, the bottom ones, sometimes they can get wavy. I got to make sure that I've got the right size stickers in all positions. Then trying to decide which side you want. I think this side right here. So we've got all these stickers the same size. Because I do have them different thicknesses. And I had a couple of boards left, but we made quite a few out of that great big log. I think I want that side right there. Some of these, it's hard to choose which side you want. I think I'll use that side. Well friends, I ended up with 3 stacks, 10 high, plus these 2 right here that I had left over. So we have 32 boards now that I think that is enough, plenty enough to finish that area right there. As soon as I can get these dried, that's the reason I moved them out here, then I'll put this wood protectant on top of that. Then we'll be able to trim those off and finish that, and it's going to feel so nice to have this place closed in. That way I don't have to worry about the blowing rain. Now it will make it a little bit darker in here, but I may have to do something about getting a light. Especially when I close this up and put a door here. But like I said, that's going to be really nice now, where I'll have a place, once I get the flooring in there, when I'm cutting up some material and I intend to save it or whatever, then I can actually take it in there and store it, and I can also mill it and take it in there and store it. Then the boards will be a whole lot lighter and a whole lot easier to use when I get ready to work on one of the projects. But I couldn't believe that pretty much all except these 2 right here came out of that one log. Now that was a big log, and it's the way that I cut it, I just started whacking away at it at 3/4 of an inch, and some of the slab wood, I think we had 12 pieces of live edge that I actually trimmed up and came up with 12 of these. So yeah, there was quite a bit of yield in that one log. Now on this back side, if we take a look at this top section over here compared to the second one, if I put 1, 2, 3, 4 more up, I'll have that completed. These 2 will take 13 apiece, that's 26, plus those 4 over there makes 30. So I've got 2 that I can make a mistake on, or 2 that I will have left over. Either way you want to look at it, one of them is bound to happen. As soon as those dry, I'm going to be putting some of that wood protectant on there. We're going to get those put up. So when it's all said and done, that's kind of what the outside is going to look like. And the structure, I actually did that on purpose, where it would stand out from the siding. That's the way that I wanted to build my cabin, but I changed my mind and did it board and batten. Then I've got my sawmill area, which I think turned out quite nice. Even though it wasn't built for that size of sawmill, we were able to get it in there. We've got to finish the front, and it does have an upstairs where the flooring will be just about where that sign is. But yeah, we'll have an upstairs in this midsection. Then of course, if you're new to the channel, this is the first section that I built, which houses the tractor. Once I can get all this material cleared out of here, I'll be hanging a bunch of hand tools along this side of the building right here. So this section right here, from where I'm standing at, this beam, that is 24 feet long and a little over 8 feet wide. It's 12 feet tall in the center and 10 feet tall on the outside. Inside the main building right here, this is 18 feet in depth and it's 12 feet wide right here. So the upstairs will be the same. But I actually think that it's turning out quite nice, and I kind of knew that it would have this look. I didn't know how good it would look, but I think that blonde wood on top of that hewn, burnt, and oiled structure actually looks good. I'm very impressed with it, and I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did. I have a bunch of poplar logs down there that I think what I'm going to do is start cutting some sheathing in my spare time, right? That way I can use the sheathing to go down as the subflooring in here, especially this long area where I could put a bunch of stuff if I had that floor done. So that's one thing that I might start working on as I get some offcuts, you know, some of the slab wood or whatever, clean that up a little bit, start saving it for this floor. Then I've got the two in the center section right there, the main floor on the bottom, and then the upstairs. So I'll need quite a bit of sheathing to cover that as well. Of course, it can be different sizes. It doesn't have to be, I wanted the siding to kind of all look the same, but they could be 1x6s, 1x8s, 1x10s, 1x12s, whatever I have. I just have to line up the same, you know, lengthwise, and then I can mix and match them as I go across. But yeah, I think it's turning out quite well. Now you might think, why would you want to build onto this? But if you remember, I had talked about going all the way across where that first beam is right there and kind of making a shed roof out here, coming out here about 12 foot. So that would create another 12 by 18 area that I could actually get underneath, you know, out here. I could set up my sawhorses, you know, if I had something come off the mill, then I can work it up right here. So that's another thing that I'm really seriously thinking about doing in this area right here. So another thing that I have been thinking about that probably won't happen till next year or the year after that is, but in this area right here, right behind these solar panels, I could put a solar kiln right here. Now, it wouldn't be a great big one, and it would be one that I would probably have to hand load and hand unload because I wouldn't be able to get the tractor in here. But it would be a way that we could dry material, we could stack it away and save it for different projects. So that's something that I'm thinking about doing. Of course, I could possibly lay this out right here just a little bit differently. I could actually take this area and come out in this direction and build my lean-to shed to work under and come out here even farther, maybe even 16 or 18 feet. And then right in front of that, have the solar kiln right here facing in that direction, because I have to be able to face the sun in order to not only for the light to get in there, but also to create any energy that I might need off putting solar panels on top to drive fans on the inside. But yeah, that's something else that I could do. I could put one right in front of the other and still be able to get to the front of it actually with the tractor. Well, I've let the boards sit out overnight right there, and I think that I can tell that they're doing a lot better job drying. It looks like it's not quite as dark on the ends where it's still wet. You can tell right in here, but I think it is drying. So I'll give that a couple more days, and then I'll come down here and put some of that wood protectant on it and get it up there on the side. I know it's going to shrink a little bit, but it'll dry a whole lot better once I get it up on the side as well. Wood always shrinks width-wise, not lengthwise, so I won't have any problems on the ends, but it will shrink in width. So when I'm building with green lumber, I pretty much have two choices. I can do a overlap, or I can do a board and batten. These are overlapped 1.5 inches. So even if I had up to a half inch of shrinkage on this, I'm still going to be quite a bit overlapped, so I don't have to worry about ever seeing the crack. Same way with the batten, that covers up the crack between these two boards right here. So if I took this off, there may be a quarter, maybe 3/8 of an inch gap, but the batten covers it. So that's one little tip when you're using green lumber. The only two tips that I know. There may be another way of building, and if there is, please let me know, because I haven't heard of it. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Have you all had any cicadas where you're at? I have a few up here, but my sister's house is covered with them. And my daughter, she has a few down there, but I haven't seen too many up here. Maybe they don't like pine. I don't know. But if you've got any cicadas in your area, you can leave us a comment and let us know. Friends, I'm going to have to get busy. I've got some other things that I need to do, but I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.